Detailing drafting views. We've talked quite a bit about making 3D details. So this one right here is purely 3D. It does have some 2D annotation. Of course, that has to be there. We zoom into this one's a combination or a hybrid of a 3D kind of background information and then a little bit more specific or even graphical information that's been drawn on top of that in 2D. So what if you want to make something though that's completely 2D? Maybe it's a detail that's just better suited to be 2D, maybe just a very fine detail, very small detail that doesn't really have too much to do with the overall model. Well, that can be done. So if you go to View and then you go to Drafting View, you can make one. And I might just call this Eve's detail. We're not going to do too much as far as the detail itself. We're just going to draw it and establish a few lines. Let's just say OK. But here we are. We have something that's started for an Eve's detail. This is grouped right under drafting views in your project browser, Eve's detail. That can be dragged and dropped right onto a sheet. So we don't have much room on this sheet. We're kind of running out. Maybe what we'll do is just move this over as far as we can. I'll activate the view. You'll get used to working quite quickly like this. Can just move it over just a little bit farther. And perhaps I'll have to try to get to that title right there. Don't usually like to cram things so close together on one sheet, but we'll give this a try. Now let's just drag and drop the Eve's detail on there. Now it says empty views can't be placed on sheets, so it needs something in there in order to be dragged onto a sheet. So let's do that. Now what could we put on there? Well, we know the wall is 8 inches thick, so let's draw something like that. We're going to go to Annotate. We're going to use the very tools that we've been learning. I'm going to go to the masking region, and I'm just going to draw something like this. It's 8 inches thick, and it's 1'10" high. Finish that. Okay, good. So I could go to my section and detail view sheet and just drag and drop the Eve's detail right here. We can already start getting this position. Now, there's not really much there, is there? And this is 1.5 inches to a foot, so it's a fairly large scale. Let's go into this view. Let's activate it. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually steal some stuff from our roof detail. So we're going to cut and paste some things. Let's just go up under sections, go to roof detail, and I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to just copy that. Let's see if that works. Good. Let's go to Eve's detail, and let's just paste it. Okay. We've got that. Now you'll notice this is pretty much up to me to put it in the right spot. And I mean, how do I know it's in the right spot? Well, you need to do due diligence as far as drafting is concerned and position it properly. And I'm not doing that. I'm sort of saying to myself, no, this is just conceptual. And maybe perhaps it's a schematic or something like that. I could edit the boundary. I could draw a line right here. I could trim this up. Okay, so we're just stretching that down. Perhaps I don't like this anymore. Maybe I want this to all be one thing. So I can say edit boundary, and I can draw this all in one object, and maybe I want to do something like that. And again, I'm just trying to paint some broad strokes here. It looks like we have a few lines that are intersecting each other. So let's do this right. We'll say good. Let's get rid of that piece. We'll delete that. And let's go back to our sheet. Section and detail. Okay, there it is there. Now we want this to fit on to our sheet. So let's just change the scale. I'm going to click on it right on the sheet and change it right here. 3/4 inch into, okay, there we go. 3/4 inch to the foot. Maybe we go a tiny bit bigger, 1 inch to the foot. Okay. Now we can click on the title, drag that up, over, it lines up. Now that's all well and good, but how do we know to go to that? I mean, maybe we need to call this out. How do we do that? So we have talked a little bit about referencing drafting views already with callouts. Let me show you exactly how that's done. So we're going to go to View. We're going to go to Callout. Do not click on the screen yet, or else all is lost. Before you even click on the screen, in the options bar, got to click Reference Other View, and now I can have it reference the eaves detail. Now we've already dropped that onto the sheet. You can see it's detail 3 and the sheet name is A104. So if I just click on that, as soon as I highlight this, you're going to get this little call out, and notice it says 3A104. It's similar to that. So that's why it has a little sim. You don't have to have the sim. That's something that you can remove, but for now we're going to leave it in there. Okay, so just remember this call out before you click on the page, click on reference another view, and you can reference this as many times as you want. So that's the other advantage to having a 2D drafting. Let's deactivate this view. I'm going to just go into my eaves detail view in the project browser. Let's just right click. We could save that to a new file. So you could save that out, and then you have your very own 2D eaves detail drawing. You can be as complicated or as fleshed out as you'd like. So you can insert these 2D views that you've saved at any time. You just go to Insert, Insert from File, Insert Views from File. You can click on that. Find a file that has the detail view that you want. You may have a file that has quite a few of them, and you can load them all in and they will appear in your drawing and you can start referencing them right away.